Welcome back to match day number 16 of the ESL Pro League North American Division season number 4. SK Gaming up against compLexity. Elfish Guy, how's this going to go down? SK obviously one of our favourites here.
Yes.
And, well, favourites in terms of at least skill level, more likely to win. We don't play favourites unless it's Renegades.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, Winter Fox.
Or Winter Fox.
Or Winter Fox.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much SK coming into this one. It's going to be, for me, very much the same sort of a situation as what we saw last matchup between Liquid and E United, where there's going to be a big favourite coming into it. SK should roll over this one 2-0.
All right, we take a look at the maps. We've got Overpass, we've got Dust 2. Of course, Overpass was the pick for compLexity. Dust 2, the pick for SK. What do you think about this?
Well, Overpass is actually a very good map for SK, so a little surprised to see compLexity picking that one up, but I think that one should go to SK. Obviously, I think Dust 2 should go to SK as well. So, really for me, coming into this one, SK now back with their full roster. I mean, that little slump of form that we saw coming out for them when they had a sub in, probably irrelevant now that they've got that 5 core again, and just going to be coming into this one really strong.
Fair enough. Well, SK, the favourites going in. They're in 11th spot, but they haven't played too many games, to be fair. They're like, what have you got? What have you got?
2 and 4.
2 and 4.
Yeah.
So that's
They've lost to Liquid and Renegades.
Okay.
But again, that was with those subs. With the sub.
With the sub.
So now...
What was their score against Renegades?
16-0.
Oh, wow. I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
We go through... let's go through SK's lineup here. Taco, Fur, Fallen, FNX, and Coldzera. What do you think of these guys here, Elfish Guy?
I think they're pretty good.
Pretty good Counter-Strike players.
I mean, they go all right.
Anyone to look out for in particular? Who's
Coldzera, of course. One of the strongest players on this team. But, I mean, it's hard to... You can't really do that to SK, really. Like, they all have
all good.
They're all a part of the puzzle, right?
And that's
they all fit together.
That's why they're one of the top teams in the world.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. Let's look at all of them to perform well today.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't surprise me, to be perfectly honest. compLexity, they're going to have to bring their A game today, their A+ game, really.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's going to be...
probably their S rank.
Yeah,
S game.
We take a look at them. Android X23, Def, Uber, Surreal, and Ape. Ape we saw go nuts yesterday on a P250 up against Renegades as well. Ace them, and Eco Ace against the guys from Australia. And, you know, as we talk about individual moments of brilliance, is that what... I'm not sure if that was that, to be fair, in its entirety, or whether Renegades
kind of let that happen as well a little bit.
Just ran through, and it was less than ideal for them. But compLexity, definitely able at their best to bring it to SK.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
I think I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say at their best.
At their best, and if SK was at their worst, maybe. Maybe. Like, yeah, I know SK's looked pretty bad lately. Yeah. But, like, how much can you take of that, really, when they had a sub in? This time, with their full roster, should be no problems at all.
Well, I guess we will have to see.
Unless they don't have their full roster, which is currently what's happening in the server.
Oh,
so
really?
maybe not.
Well, who's in there instead?
Dead.
Oh. Well, let's hope he's dead good.
They're missing Fallen. I'm surely they're not playing without Fallen.
Well,
no, Fallen's back. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay.
You just
you're
worrying all the fans at home, Jordan.
I'm not worrying anyone.
They're all typing in chat now. I can't believe you would doubt that they would all be here ready to play.
Well,
they wouldn't do that to us.
Well, if in the case they do have all of their 5 compLexity,
which they do,
of course.
Yeah,
compLexity are going to have really a very tough time into this one. No matter what you say, I don't think compLexity comes out of this one with really anything more than...
All right, what's your score? What's your prediction, Elfish Guy?
16-8 at best for SK.
Okay, well...
compLexity with the 8, of course.
Of course. Let's get into the action.
Of course.
We're heading into Overpass here. compLexity starting on the CT side. SK Gaming starting as the terrorists. And Elfish Guy says that compLexity don't really have a chance today. I think most people might agree, but look... anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Well, anything can happen. You're right. compLexity have got...
We say that a lot.
A bit of a stack over to the B side. Well, it's kind of what you say when...
Well, it is.
When anything could happen, but it probably won't.
Probably won't. Yeah. It's true. It's true. But if they've got one way to do it, they're starting off CT, so maybe they can make something of it here. The bomb going to go A-long to begin with. Just going to rotate back through bathrooms and maybe back around to the other side towards this A site. A site probably a good place to push right now, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I mean, really, for SK, it seems like they're heading in that direction. They don't have any smokes to work with here, so potentially these USPs at a long range can be quite useful. And there you go, Def is going to be able to find FNX, the first kill of this series so far. Gets another shot over towards Fallen, and already 2 players from SK have been taken out.
Oh,
That's
look
a
at
good
that.
shot though from coldZera, immediately traded out, but Uber's in a great spot here to take out Fur. And so, really, pretty nice round in the end there for compLexity. Didn't seem to be all that difficult for them.
Yeah, a good first round. Exactly what they need to do. They pick up the pistol, and they do it, to be fair, in convincing fashion. That's going to allow them to buy into this round. SMGs across the board, by the looks of it. Oh, no, look at this. This is a smart buy, to be fair. 3 UMPs, an M4, and a FAMAS. Expecting the SK will, of course, force into this round.
Well, SK didn't get the bomb down.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't get the bomb plant down. And all of these weapons will go not too poorly up against armored targets. So, what more could you want?
I don't know. Maybe a few more utilities, I suppose, but really, they do have a pretty decent buy against what SK has brought into this round. In saying that, though, SK, of course, have got the opportunities to find some kills into this one as well. They've got the things like the Deagle there on FNX and coldZera, who can always come up with 1 or 2 frags. I'd definitely say this is not a foregone conclusion. The guys on SK are going to be keen to try and pick this one up.
No, they still need to do some work here because SK are a very, very good team. Uber finds Taco first frag of the round, and at least they can spot out one player just lurking there towards the B side. The bomb coming back towards B, and coldZera finds Def straight up, just like you mentioned there with the Deagle. Now back to a 4-on-4, 50 seconds on the clock. The bomb still towards the B side. FNX finds a frag as well. And all of a sudden, we're on a 3v3 with Surreal taking down coldZera. So, they push into the side here, and now they've got the player advantage.
Well, not anymore, as Ape was able to take down Fallen, who was trying to get the bomb in position there for a plant. No guns retrieved, actually, for these SK players, so that's a little disappointing. It's going to put them, you know, when you've got 3 opponents down, you always want to feel like you can get at least 1 or 2 guns out of that one, but as of yet, SK haven't managed to do that. compLexity.
Look at this boost coming out here.
Is actually quite good there from SK. It's going to be difficult now for compLexity to find that final player. Fur's actually managed to find a UMP as well, and he's making good use of it. Takes down Ape. And
look at that. Smart play here. Very smart play from SK. They don't even play for the bomb plant. They play to get the frags, get the bomb down in the end. And that force coming through from them. Just outclassing compLexity there. Unfortunately for compLexity Gaming, but going to see the scores at 1 apiece, and now allows SK to buy into round number 3. compLexity, on the other hand, well, they're going to buy a scout, some pistols, a little bit of armor, but it's a lot different to last round.
Yeah, definitely things have sort of swung back on their head. It's really compLexity buying into this one with a little bit. I mean, Ape and Uber have got some armor and the scout available for Def, so maybe some picks can come out here for compLexity if Def can drop someone pretty low and a pistol can follow it up. But in reality, the SK Gaming guys played that last round quite well. This round is looking pretty good for them coming out into it, especially considering they've got that first pick as well on Taco. Uber's going to be going down. You can see that Taco's been dropped down to 13 HP, so he could be an easy cleanup here for compLexity, but again, SK, as of yet, haven't managed to actually get into and in control of either of those bomb sites.
No, not as of yet. And Def going to try and jump scout his way out of this one. Not working so far. 50 seconds remains on the clock. The bomb coming back towards the A side of this map. Going to push through what looks to be bathrooms, and Def finds a frag, or finds a ton of damage, but almost gets traded out straight away. He's down to 1 HP. Now with 30 seconds on the clock, they're going to have to pick a site.
They definitely are, but a lot of their players very low. compLexity have a real chance in this one now. Just a few good shots, and they're going to be down to, well, only 2 players on SK Gaming, which could potentially flip things back on its head. 18 seconds left here, and SK have played down the timer quite a lot. There's a couple of shots coming out, though, from compLexity, finding a couple of kills. coldZera And for combining, though, to pick up Def, the bomb is going to go down quite safely. And now 2 versus 3, but the 3 for SK still very low on HP. A possible retake potentially here for compLexity if they get lucky.
I really like how SK used up all the time they had to work with, but didn't fail at getting the bomb down at the last second. It's what a lot of teams do. They'll use up all their time, but they just really never seem to find the right moment to push at, the last second when it's an appropriate thing to do. And we look at this, the guys from SK going to run away. And with no kit here, there's nothing that compLexity to do. They're going to escape as well. So round 3, going to go all the way through to maximum time. And SK going to pick up the round win as well. Ape, the only one going to survive for his team. He does find an AK.
He does. That's a pretty good result for compLexity there. At least they can take something into this round and, again, have that slight little bit of hope. But, of course, SK, off the back of a couple of wins, a couple of bomb plants, are going to be able to buy into it. Fallen has actually invested in the AWP pretty early on here for SK. And, again, SK making their way sort of split apart. Default sort of a setup here. FNX is going to have a bit of a challenge there in Underpass, it seems. Ape's going to be the one to take the duel, and will win it as well. compLexity now have got that player advantage. coldzera coming in, though, for the trade. He'll find the first, looking for the second there, and he's going to pull out the Glock and closes it out with that one. 2 kills for coldzera, and there's a potential for a trade here for compLexity again. So, trades backwards and forwards, and eventually we find ourselves in a 3v3. Make that a 3v2 as Fur is able to pick up Surreal, but the important thing for compLexity is the AK is now out of their hands, and just the pistols to work with here is really not going to be all that fun.
No, less than ideal, and Android the last one left alive with a minute on the clock. The bomb progressing slowly, very slowly to be fair, along the outside of long A towards this A site. But the potential here for them to find Android X before the bomb even makes its way across. Fallen going to get the plant down. Let's hope for his sake he doesn't get caught out from behind here.
I mean, even if he does get taken out from behind, they're going to be able to take the AWP into the next round. Someone will surely be able to pick it up. Fallen is going to go down there. The trade pretty easy for Fur.
Oh, they're going to run out of time almost.
Right.
Close. Easy. Easy peasy.
No problems at all. And I mean, SK, even if they had have not had that AWP saved, they would have had plenty of money to save it, to buy it again, rather, into this round. This time, the first real full buy, well, I say full buy, it's not a full buy, but the first decent really buy coming out here for compLexity with the AWP on Surreal and rifles on all the other members. This is a pretty important one for them to come back in here because SK, I mean, they should be picking this up in reality.
They should.
So if compLexity can just, get a few more rounds and see what they can do, then, again, who knows, but really, still things heavily weighted in the favor of SK, who have already gotten an advantage, although Def...
With the pre-fire.
Yeah, I think he might have played at the shadow there. Seeing the shadow of FNX peeking around.
They actually pushed quite a long way forward onto long A as well to begin with, and then dropped back. That allowed Def to find that frag, but he gets traded out by Fur in the end, and Surreal takes some damage as well, going down to 40 HP on that AWP. So, the bomb towards bathrooms, SK split 2 and 2. Same with compLexity here, so no matter what they do, it should be an even player advantage on either side. But with that, 2 quick kills, Uber and Surreal both finding frags, and compLexity in an advantageous position with 47 seconds on the clock. Surely the bomb needs to come around so they can work together here. coldzera needs to be combining with Fallen.
Oh.
And that would have been a much better trade with 2 of them on the side, unfortunately. Now Android up against Fallen here. And Fallen does have the AWP, but he's got to find three opponents to make something of this round.
He's trying to make a bit of noise here, seeing if anyone's going to peek in his direction, but compLexity playing it well. Have not yet decided to go for the peek, and eventually Android X is going to be able to take down Fallen. So a pretty good round there for compLexity, and SK at the moment kind of splitting up a little bit, holding pretty default, trying to work the map, and it does allow things like that to happen. compLexity just to get those 1v1 aim duels, and if things go the way of the CTs, obviously eventually we'll see a player advantage. And SK, wouldn't be bad to maybe just see them grouping up here, executing out onto a bomb site, and seeing what happens really with that. Because I feel like they, on the entry onto the bomb site are going to have the the aim advantage as well. So, I mean, that's an option here for SK, but for now, we'll see what they decide to do. Just going to be buying back into this round. Fur had a lot of money available to him.
They spent $10,300 on this round. Just buying some weapons for all of his pals. The Railfish guy. Just going out to the shops. He's like, oh, what do you want? What do you want, mate? What do you want? And FNX is like, oh,
I'll
I'm
have
not
an AK,
sure.
mate.
I wouldn't mind an AK. Yeah, that'd be okay. Like, sweet, here you go. Oh, thanks. Like, it's good having rich friends. It's exactly what you want. Wish you had more money to buy me things.
Yeah, so do I. But alas, that's the life we lead. Although, here for SK, they'll be hoping to come back into this one. Probably a little disappointed to lose that last round there to compLexity, whose buy was not the best. This time, things have swung again on their heads. It's been pretty backwards and forwards so far.
Yeah.
And SK just slightly with the better of it, but definitely a potential for compLexity to pull off this round, bring it back to a 3-4-3. Although in saying that, SK are on the T side, so maybe not expecting them to get as many rounds here as compLexity should.
One minute remaining here, and still no action being taken. They're pushing towards A, and there are only 2 players here from compLexity ready to go. So let's see what Taco can do to keep these other players out towards B. And actually pushing a very long way up are the CTs on A towards bathrooms, and maybe they'll be able to catch someone out. Maybe Fur will get found.
I like this a little better, though, from SK. They've got players together, and they can get those trades if need be. Last round, they would sort of all just split up a little bit, and really the only one isolated at the moment is Taco. He's just trying to lurk around towards that B bomb site for now, but SK, they're set up a little bit better here. Cold Zero might have spotted out the player next to him, but in the end, Def is actually going to be able to pick him up. Taco does get one onto the B side, and all of a sudden, a few kills go the way of SK as they make their way out onto the A site. 10 seconds left on the clock here. compLexity going to be falling apart there. It's just Ape now, and if you can drop the bomb carrier, it could be huge. Oh, they need to find this final kill. It looks like compLexity have won the round. Oh, wow. SK, that's a little disappointing.
That is a little disappointing. I was just stating before how well they use their time, how well they manage what's left of the round, and that time they got caught out. They thought they were safe, but Ape had a different point of view. But I do have to agree, when you talk about a team like SK, where overall their players are probably going to be better at aiming at those aim duels, you know, finding the shots, finding the frags, the spray downs, than the opponents are quite a lot of the time here, especially in NA Pro League, right? Execute onto the site. We'll return to that one in a second. Android going to smoke himself out, just remove that Molotov. He's in a good spot. They thought maybe there was no one there after that Molotov went down, but he picks up 2. And now the bomb carrier goes down again. This rush coming out from compLexity, coming out from SK, gets onto the site. And they do manage to find a bomb plant as well. Surreal with all the work to do here. He's in a good spot to find Fallen.
Fallen's going to be getting out of there
Just in the nick of time, yeah.
Just in the nick of time, as you say. The smoke will be popped onto the bomb there, so compLexity, or at least Surreal, perhaps hoping to get a defuse in that smoke, but SK probably a little too good for that, you feel, and in the end, Fallen's actually going to be able to take him down. Pretty easy round in the end there for SK, even though the buy wasn't great. So they bite back with another one, and 4-3 in the favour of SK now. compLexity on the eco.
Yeah, so to continue what I was saying before, if you're better at those aim duels, if you'd like to think the other people in your league, you're just maybe just one step above some of them. Maybe certainly compLexity, some would suggest that if you just play your numbers and you trade out the majority, you know, on the balance of probability, you are just guaranteed to win more rounds that way. If you just make sure that every time you trade, you've got the better aim. They shouldn't be able to 1v2 you. It should be relatively safe. So this round should be an easy round here for SK Gaming, and they push their way out. Taco will start the charge onto this site, and that leaves Ape by himself, and should get cleaned up here by Fallen, and he does. 5-3 now the score. SK with the round win.
Yeah, a little bit of a quicker round coming out there for SK. This time, obviously aware that compLexity aren't going to really have any utilities that they need to get rid of before they push into those sites. So SK speeding things up there, and it's a double eco coming out here for compLexity, so really not a great situation at all. SK should be going up 6-3, doubling the score of compLexity. Now, FNX is just taking away a UMP. Don't mind that. Get a bit of extra cash in the bank. Should be a pretty easy round here for SK regardless.
Def going to push down into lowers and tries to find a frag. Nothing there for him at the moment. coldzera just holding back right now. And up the back of playground, Def going to push forward now though out towards Fountain. Will he find a frag? He sees the player, drops back again. Wants to go maybe back down into connector. They think he's not going to be there. Surreal pushing forward as well. Potential here for some of the SK guys to get caught out trying to come out of this position, but Fallen will trade out the frag that Def got.
Not too bad there for complexity. I mean, Def had actually got a pretty decent amount of information, knew where quite a lot of those T players were, but a 1-for-1 when you're on the eco, I guess, is really the best you can hope for at most in most cases. Fur's going to go in to that A-bomb site from long, picks up Ape, who's just dancing around the place there and wasn't able to land a shot. It's now coming down to these 3 remaining players for complexity. Maybe Fur going to be in a bit of difficulty depending on how quickly that guy on long rotates around the back, but at the moment you can see SK making their way up onto the A-bomb site as well, so he should be okay now that he's got some buddies there. Surreal might be able to drop the bomb here. coldzera goes down. He'll also be able to pick up Fur, so all of a sudden things looking a little dangerous here now for SK. Fallen needs to hit those shots. It doesn't manage to do it. That's a good shot with the AWP though, and now he's going to back out, but not going to be allowed to by Uber. 20 seconds left on the clock here for Taco. Has to get onto that A-bomb site and plant the bomb or pick up both of these kills in really not a whole lot of time. He's going to have to go for it. The bomb has been smoked off by Taco, and he's going to go for the plant.
Do it. What a man. Look at that. Gets the bomb plant down. If Taco wins this round, this will be nuts. And I felt like SK were throwing this away, but maybe Taco's bringing them back into it. Will he get the frag? He does. SK wins the round. Taco, the man, the myth, the legend. Look at that. That's called gut, selfish guy.
I don't know how complexity let that bomb go down there. Really. And then let him get out of the smoke as well.
I don't even know. That two aspects in that round both astound me. The first was that no one from SK bothered to check long. And they lost 2 players straight away from that.
Yeah.
The second was how on earth did Taco get in there and get that bomb plant down? Like, I don't know. I just don't even know. I don't.
Well, I couldn't tell you, to be honest.
Why does this happen?
I mean, to be fair to complexity, it wasn't eco. They got pretty close. Although at that point in the round, they probably should have won it. Still, SK going to be going 6-3 up, and as expected, having a pretty decent time of it up against complexity so far. On the T side this time, just playing again a little bit slower, trying to use up those utilities, waste that little advantage that complexity might have before going in. So, I mean, plenty of time here for SK, and I expect we're going to just be seeing another very slow, sort of educated play coming out from the T side.
Short of that last round, doesn't even feel like complexity's playing all that poorly. They're just not winning. Like, the stuff they're doing is okay. If they picked up the bomb planter then, that would have been perfect. It would have been amazing eco round victory for them up against SK. It was a good eco round anyway, just the end result was less than ideal. And 5 still alive here for SK with 44 on the clock. Potentially waiting to push back down onto the B side here. And Taco has been holding just outside tunnels for quite a while now. He seems to be his position of choice. Surreal peeks through, finds a frag onto coldzera. And now SK, they're starting to run out of time. We talk about them being very good at playing the long game here and knowing how much time to use. Let's see if they can actually do it this time around. Def drops the bomb carrier, and it's now a 3-on-3.
15 seconds left to work with here for SK Gaming. Imperative that they get this bomb down quickly, and the bomb carrier, or the second bomb carrier, is going to be dropped. FNX and Fur both going down there on the A-bomb side, and that's the round in the favor of complexity. Once again, SK, I mean, they started off relatively okay. Sure, they lost the first player, but they got the trade out, forcing that AWP, I think it was Surreal actually for complexity, into the crosshairs of FNX. But in reality, again, just playing things maybe a little bit too slow there, and not quite having enough time to get into those bomb sites.
I'm not sure. And again,
the smoke wasn't that great either for SK. Like, there was that hole.
And Taco being on the other side of the map again. Sure, he won the previous round, but he didn't even get there before the round ended. So there was no, short of them successfully planting the bomb, there was no way for him actually to be active in that round.
It's potentially going to be...
We haven't seen them rotate through T at all.
No.
You know what I mean? It's not like you're seeing CTs come around that way.
No, definitely not. But SK this time setting their sights on the B-bomb site. Fur is going to start off very well. FNX also chiming in there for SK. Uber's doing a good job, but eventually gets traded out by coldzera, and it's now a 3 versus 2. SK have got control of the B-bomb site. The bomb is going to be going down. That's a great Molotov as well, forcing Def out of position. Surreal now will be occupying that spot, and 2 frags coming across for complexity. Surreal and Def finding one apiece. It's down to Fallen now after picking up Def in the 1v1.
Yeah, Surreal here. What can he do? He needs to defuse this. He's got a kit. He's got utility. He just needs to make the shot, and he will. Fallen goes down. complexity, they're bringing back to 5 and 6 here. SK, we said, well, you said, I'm gonna jump on the complexity bandwagon, that they were gonna get wrecked. And in reality, this is not a bad score from complexity right now.
Well, the thing you have to remember is that complexity is on the CT side.
Really?
So
thanks,
yeah,
Selfish.
you're welcome, because it seems you've forgotten.
It's not a bad score though.
It's not a good score.
It's not a bad score.
SK Gaming on six rounds on the T side. That's a good score.
It's not a bad score.
If complexity bring this one back to 9-6, then it's not a bad score.
Well, surely that would be a good score, 9-6.
No, not really.
I would say it's a good score. I don't think it's a bad score.
I think Overpass leans a little bit more to the CT than that, at least in my opinion.
Okay.
And at the
You've got to
moment,
remember they're playing SK, who are a very good team,
yeah,
Jordan.
but yeah, I understand this. Like, it's a good score considering they're versing SK. However,
well, they are versing SK.
yeah, but it doesn't matter when SK is going to come onto the CT side and win anyway.
Whatever.
Right.
Don't even care. Surreal, ready to go here, and it looks like it's going to be towards the A site once again, pushing 3 through bathrooms, 1 through long. Surreal holding back. Let's see what Fallen can do. Is he going to throw out a smoke? Ape's got one as well. Maybe to try and counter-smoke this off. And oh, look at that! Through the smoke. Picks up FNX. And all of a sudden, complexity with a player advantage. SK going to try and execute onto this A site with a little more time than before. And this time they have all of their players here. Taco is ready to go. And Fallen going to plant the bomb. Drops back with his Galil. Still not getting tagged through the smoke. That's a good start.
Ooh.
That, however, is less than ideal for them. And 8 fires through, finds another one. They're now on a 3v2. They do have the advantage. They've only got one smoke grenade to make this this retake work, though.
Yeah, it's still not an easy situation here for complexity. The time has been ticking away quite a lot. coldzera gets traded, but Fallen is still alive, and he's got an M4 to work with. Eventually, we'll go down to Ape there, and the bomb defused here for complexity. 6 on the board for both of these teams. And again, SK coming into this one with a pretty poor amount of money. They could probably just go pistol armor, but it looks like they're just going to force into this one. Whereas coldzera is keen.
Yeah, he certainly is, and it looks like everyone's ready to follow. Complexity going out with 5 rifles. No AWP for them this round, but they are now even here with SK Gaming. 6 rounds apiece, and no matter what Elfish Guy says, I am proud of you, Complexity. This is exactly what we need to see. Let's see if they can put another one on the board.
What we need to see is complexity get to 9. If they don't get to 9, they haven't done enough on the CT side. So I think it's really important that they get the following 3 rounds.
It's going to be hard. I'll say that, because SK is a great team, and certainly at their best, complexity are going to struggle up against them. But 6-6 is where we're at right now. They're trying to make it 7-6. Get ahead here on the CT side, make the most of it. Taco pushes through, finds a frag. Furs also found one as well, and quickly, complexity fall apart here on round 13. SK get the bomb plant down, and FNX finds a frag traded out by Android X. Fallen will pick up the last one, and an M4 as well, should he want to keep it.
So SK once again just speeding things up in that round, catching complexity a little bit off guard, and the resulting round here for complexity is not going to be good. Their economy's been broken. They're just going to be looking like they want to actually force into this one. Ape's just going to take away a deagle. No, he's going to pick up the armor as well. But yeah, I mean, in reality, SK with the potential now to turn this into a 9-6 T-half, which would be a very good score. And complexity just faltering a little bit, perhaps at the last hurdle.
3 stack on B1, on A1, pushing long. And a 3 stack coming out towards the B site. But we haven't seen too many B pushes, really, coming out from SK Gaming here. And Fallen is going to peek onto the site, finds one. Ape goes down, so that's a good start for them. Complexity here need to play the tight ankles with these pistols.
FNX this time taking the same sort of angle that Fallen did and doesn't have as much luck. Uber as well is able to take down Taco there. So compLexity, there's hope for them in this round at least. FNX has been dropped down to 27. They've already picked up a kill. And now SK goes scrambling away from that B bomb site. Once again now, they have a couple of players heading in towards that A bomb site. There is a CT and Bathroom who will be easily disposed by coldzera. And now the A bomb site looks like it's the option of choice here for SK Gaming. That Molotov to clear bank.
Great
shot from coldzera. He's going to find this other one as well. No, actually he decides to try and put the bomb down. Might not be the best of ideas. Still though, does clean up Uber in the end. It's now a 1v4. coldzera gets that bomb down and Android X finds himself in a pretty poor position.
He certainly does. The only thing for me that SK can take away and improve on at the moment is they're just not checking some of these angles. You saw it then.
Well, they're not clearing the site.
Yeah, they're not. We saw it before where they got picked up on the eco round coming up from compLexity, and Android X going down in the end. They got picked up from long A with the USP. One planting the bomb, another player, and then the third got tagged up and picked up as well.
Yeah.
So if that's all they're doing wrong, look, that's to be fair something that's pretty easy to fix. You just need to keep it in the back of your mind. And I think maybe it's just an overconfidence thing here coming out from SK.
Maybe.
They're obviously feel they should be able to pick this one up. But SK potentially catching them off guard. Now, if they can bring this back to 9 and 6, then that would be a very good first half here for SK Gaming.
Yeah, it's already been a pretty decent one here for SK. 8 on the board on your T half of Overpass. Someone said you were going to get that before the first half had started. You'd probably be like, yeah, fair enough, I'll take that.
Yeah.
And
wait, I'll sign on the dotted line, Elfish guy. How do I buy it?
Exactly. Seems like SK are going to get into that A-bomb site pretty much for free as well. As we've seen, Fur makes his way onto the site, and the bomb will be soon following, as well as coldzera. It's compLexity now in a disadvantaged position, and even more so now that Taco is able to take down Def. Ape should be spotted out here by Taco as well, and is a very convincing round coming out here for SK. Just Android X finding himself in a bad spot once again. 9 on the board after the first half there for SK.
Yeah, very good first half coming out for SK Gaming. compLexity on the back foot here, but glimpses of hope to me for them at least. We're going to go to a quick break and be back very, very shortly with the second half of this game.
This is the galaxy's easiest meal. And this is the galaxy's easiest haircut.
I absolutely love it.
Soylent, the galaxy's easiest meal. This is the galaxy's easiest meal. And this is the galaxy's easiest...
Is this the galaxy's easiest game of Counter-Strike, Elfish guy?
No,
Probably not.
not
That would
really.
have been the first map we saw today, I suspect.
Yeah.
Because...
All Renegades versus SK.
Oh, mate. I wasn't going to go there, to be honest. I was not going to go there. SK Gaming, their 9-6 up, heading into the CT's half here for them. And if they pick up this pistol round, it could be all over for compLexity.
Well,
compLexity going to push out trade 1-for-1. They're onto the site. coldzera up the back. He finds one. Can he see another smoke? He's obstructing his view, but that's not going to stop them from finding the frags. And that round, a very, very quick round.
Yep.
Goes over to SK straight away. They keep 4 on the board. Fallen's like, oh, I'll just grab that Tech 9. Who doesn't want a Tech 9?
Who does not? I mean, he probably is just content to take this Tech 9 away.
No plant coming out for
he's got a scout.
compLexity. So a lot of the time you might see teams forcing into this round. But it looks like they're just going to buy pistols, but no armor.
Yeah, well, it's now a pretty tough uphill battle here for compLexity. They've already put themselves at a disadvantage in this second half. SK Gaming coming into it already had extra rounds on the board, and they're going to get a few more here, you would expect. It looked like a very convincing pistol round there from SK Gaming. Read the play well. I didn't even know if they had anyone starting on that B-bomb site, because it just seemed like everyone on SK was on that A-bomb site as soon as compLexity was pushing in there. And, well, you saw how it ended up. in this round as well, going much the same direction. SK really just picking up a bunch of easy frags. This time, compLexity not even getting one. And it's a good anti-eco from SK, exactly how it needs to go.
Yeah, very, very well played from them. And we'll see how this round goes. compLexity, what will they do with this money? They're going to eco once more. And wait till round number 4. It's quite a lot of rounds they're giving away, unfortunately. But I guess they feel they don't have an option here. And SK, it's going to be difficult to take them on in a round at the best of times, of course. When you have limited weapons, that makes it even harder. It's going to be a rush coming out into water now. Does it go up
I think
onto
it
the
does.
site? But FNX in a good spot. He's going to get forced back. Just doesn't make the best use of exactly where he was, but it doesn't matter in the end.
Thank you very much,
They
says
find,
SK.
yeah, all of the frags in a very little amount of time.
Buy round time here for compLexity. Wouldn't be really surprised to see SK take a couple of these UMPs through to this round as well. They'll be feeling so confident, and in reality, there's no need to waste the money when the UMPs will be doing the job just fine. That is going to be the case as well for them. Taco and FNX just hanging on to those guns. compLexity with a slightly better array of weaponry for this round at least. They've set up pretty default as well.
Yeah, certainly have the bomb out towards the playground for the moment. Let's see what the rest of the team wants to do. Just sitting down here in tunnels. And, looks like we've got 3B.
4B.
We're trying to work out where that fifth and final player was, whether he was sitting below A or below B. But it's now 2A, 3B, and it doesn't really matter what was there before because nothing has happened in a minute. 8 remains.
Look at how scared compLexity are at the moment. They have not pushed anywhere. They were just sitting in T-spawn for about a minute. And now finally they're starting to make their way forward, starting to gain some map control, which SK is essentially relinquishing for free. SK content pretty much just sit on those bomb sites, with the exception of Cold Zero here, who's holding pretty far forward in water. But again, really, SK have given up a lot of map control for free. And compLexity only just now are taking it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even like SK pushed all the way forward. They were holding a long way back. Def here going to push out into water. He might find the frag. He cannot do it. Taco finds him. 8 will trade it out. Android pushes through tunnel, finds one up behind boxes. Now compLexity with 20 seconds on the
hit
clock.
One on the cross here, and he does manage to do that. Brings it back to a 3v2. He's got the Tech 9 out as well. Might be able to do a bit of damage with that, actually. Look at how low these compLexity players are. FNX actually coming in with the UMP to find himself one. And as you say, there's not much time left here for compLexity. Is there a grenade available? No, not for SK. And compLexity should just get this bomb down in time, but FNX will pick up the kill as soon as you like. And now poor old Android X once again finds himself in a disadvantaged spot with the AK only to work with, and FNX cleans it up. SK with another round on the board. They win the 2v4.
Yeah, they do, and they ripped them to shreds, to be honest. It was like watching...
A paper shredder.
It's like watching Global Elite taking on someone who's not Global Elite. Yeah, like me, potentially. Like, they just ripped into them, ran through, pushed quickly, got the frags.
Well, it was so crucial for Fallen to get that frag with the AWP on the cross. If he hadn't got that, it probably would have been the round for compLexity. But as soon as he got that, then it was really time to go for SK, and they managed to do it and pulled out the round.
They did indeed. 13-6 the score. compLexity on the buy again, but really no utility for them, and they're spread out across half of the map right now. Potentially here for Surreal to find Fur, and he does, catches him out. So that's a good start for compLexity. Are they going to make the most of it, though?
Well, potentially. This time, at least, they have a little bit more map control earlier on. They've gained control of water in towards B. As of yet, the top side of the map a little bit uncontrolled here by compLexity, but if they are heading towards B, then, of course, it's not going to be too big of an issue, though it will result in a pretty easy rotate for SK should they decide to go through somewhere like the underpass or something and come behind compLexity. Though in saying that, of course, compLexity have got the player advantage at the moment, so they can cover off a few more angles. And just waiting now. Waiting down that timer a little bit. Seeing if they can get themselves another pick here before they enter in towards that B bomb side. And they might just get that, as you can see Fallen is making his way forward. And actually compLexity rotating back up towards the top side of the map. It's going to come down to Fallen here. If he spots them out to pick up a couple of frags. At the moment, he's just falling back towards that A-bomb site, playing very, very carefully. His compLexity as they make their way forward. Fallen has been spotted out, and he's in a really bad spot here. Gets easily taken down by Serial. It's a 3 versus 5. Somebody needs to get a frag as compLexity enters this bomb site, and, well, it's going to be Def. I was hoping that somebody was going to be from SK.
Gonna say, yeah, compLexity find the first frag, and Uber here should find another. He does, get the spray down onto coldzera, and that leaves Taco all by himself. And compLexity should pick up this round to make it 13-7. A round they really, really needed to win.
Yeah.
And that'll keep them in this game, but only just.
Yeah, some aggression coming out there from SK on their CT side. I don't remember who the first person that got picked was, but they were pushing quite a long way forward and really just gave compLexity the early advantage into that round. So if SK here, I think if they just sit back on their bomb sites and wait for compLexity to come to them, or at least if they're going to push, have someone to trade for them, they'll put themselves in a better position. And this time SK, they're sending 2 forward. 1 into the underpass though, so again they've split up, and whether or not compLexity will be able to take advantage of that remains to be seen.
Yeah, compLexity pushing a long way forward very early here out towards the B site. SK, to be fair, doing the same down towards tunnels. You can see Taco and coldzera both down there ready to go. It's just a matter of whether Android X decides maybe he can just take a look through the tunnel. Def trying to peek over the top and finds a frag. Fur goes down. I think this might be a B site push, but that's going to make it more difficult here with FNX picking up Ape. We're back to a 4v4, 110 on the clock. The bomb's still back down towards the T-spawn area. And, they're not as yet decided on which site they would like to approach. SK.
Surreal.
Yeah.
Or he spots out the gun of Fallen. Fallen's in trouble now.
Well, he's gonna play the other way, but is he gonna caught
Oh,
everyone?
no!
Oh,
Ooh,
wow.
Fallen missed the shot, so Surreal doesn't get punished for it in the end. But that could have gone a whole lot worse. Still, though, it's a player advantage for compLexity, so they'll be pleased with that one. And Fallen, the AWP, the danger man, really, for compLexity out of the battle now.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit more difficult. I was about to say SK pushing quite a distance forward towards playground there. Maybe might find something, but coldzera maybe will find Android X, and he does. 3-on-3, 25 on the clock. They're pushing towards the A site once more. We can see the FNX now is on long, so potential to wrap around and find some frags from the flank.
Risky from Taco there to spray through that smoke, but doesn't get punished for it and actually does quite a lot of damage over to the T's. The bomb's been dropped now as well, and compLexity, they've got 7 seconds to work with. Def has to cross and get that bomb down. This grenade could be good. In the end, though, the USP is better. 14 on the board now for SK.
That's exactly what compLexity did to SK in the first half. One player lurking around that A long area, no one bothering to check it, running onto the site. I understand that there's other places to check, but all the frags that have come from long haven't been frags in the first 3 or 4 seconds of a site. They've been, you know, at 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds, or much longer in. Time to at least try and peek around the corner and see if someone's there. So, I don't know. Again, it's cost them. So 14-7 now the score. SK in a pretty good position here to close this one out, needing only 2 more rounds. They didn't pick Overpass. It was compLexity's map. So maybe the scoreline reflects that, I suppose, with this 14-7.
Yeah.
The potential for Dust 2 to be a blowout. But,
I wouldn't say it'll be a blowout. I mean, there's definitely potential that it could be, but I think compLexity have shown enough here that they can get some rounds on Dust 2. Obviously, the aim is matching up pretty decently. compLexity have been hitting their shots when they needed to. So, I mean, there's things to take away, at least for compLexity. And I think, I mean, they'll still struggle on Dust 2, but definitely they're not going to be getting blown out of the water. And, well, FNX is going to start off quite well in this round onto Ape. Will be traded out, but he's going to get the trade from Fallen in response as well. So, overall, pretty good passage of play there for SK.
Fallen's like, I got you, buddy, don't worry. Oh, never mind.
Whoops.
Never mind. Whoops. Whoops indeed. 3 left alive here for compLexity. They've got 35 seconds to work with as they push towards the B site. Taco is at the other end of the tunnel, waiting for them to come out. He's going to flash them, hold them back once again, give his team time to push across. And we can see coldzera now coming through water. He's going to go up onto the B site by the looks of it, and they should find this last frag here. Onto Uber. Uber does find one. He won't find the second. 15-7. now the score. SK 1 round away from victory here on Overpass.
Eco or Force Buy really from compLexity. They're going to have to buy into this one, but
Well, why don't they save, man?
yeah.
Exactly.
Save your money into the pistol round of Dust 2. Buy Tech 9 armor in that.
Good
That'd
idea.
be good.
Yeah, good idea. That's exactly what you need. Look at this rush coming out towards the B site right now for compLexity. This is the sort of eco force buys I love to see, Elfish Guy. And they slow it down a little bit now. We can see.
But look at SK have pushed so much. They have so much information here, and compLexity. Well, there's almost really no other positions that they can be apart from water, especially now that Underpass has been cleared there by FNX. He's going to push through this smoke. The B site take is coming out for compLexity, but already the quick rotates coming across from SK, basically unneeded really, but just in there for the backup, and FNX will close out that kill. A fantastic result in the first map for SK.
Certainly was. That last round, to me, it felt like I was watching a nature documentary where you see like the lions encircling the prey, you know what I mean? Getting them in at the point, just bam, they're all dead. So,
well, they were all dead.
Yeah, in the end, that's how it worked.
Yeah.
Anyway, the guys from SK Gaming will pick up Overpass. We're going to head over to Dust 2 right after the break.